Today's class is on forgiveness, and it was inspired by a chapter in a book by my friend Elena Brower. So there's a chapter in that book on forgiveness, and her friend and mentor, Gabrielle Bernstein, writes this: self-compassion and forgiveness are our greatest virtues. If we want to grow, we must live from a place of non-judgment and release blame toward ourselves and others. The practice, though, begins with ourselves. Blame and judgment are the ego's tricks for keeping us stuck in the illusory world of fear. It's easy to stay stuck in the past, wishing we could have done things differently, wishing that we could be different. But we must accept that the past no longer exists, and that the present moment is an opportunity for growth and healing. Releasing self-blame is a fierce commitment to self-love. It immediately unleashes us from our past and centers us into the present. Close down your eyes. Take a deep breath in, lift through your heart, even all the way up through your neck. And again, as you exhale, soften your skin so that your breathing is a beautiful balance between creating inner fullness and outer softness. We become capable of love and forgiveness by giving love and forgiveness. As you continue to breathe, notice how your inner body, your inner light expands as you inhale, so that on the exhale you can release tension, soften your skin, soften the gaze behind your eyes. This is your most natural state of being, and a place from which you can offer compassion and self-love and forgiveness. Expanded and strong on the inside and receptive and soft on the outside. And just slowly open your eyes. And today we're going to start class in child's pose. So stretch back, toes together, big toes touching, but knees a little bit wide. And then stretch your hips back toward your heels. This time I want you to take your hands back and touch your feet. So keeping your forehead on the mat, bring your hands back and touch your feet. And you'll find that this is a little bit more of a contemplative posture. So you take a deep breath in and fill your back. And then as you exhale, just like you did when you were sitting upright, soften your skin. Release any story that you're clinging to that's not serving you. And just continue to let your breath be steady and even. Now come to hands and knees. So take your hands forward and come on to all fours. Make sure as you're here that your wrists are right underneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips. And then with an exhale, tilt your back up like a cat. So arch up like a cat, like try to take your back to the ceiling. So other way, L. That's it, drop your head and really expand your back, that's it. And then inhale and go the other way. So drop your lumbar gently, look up, extend your neck. Good, and then do the opposite again. So as you exhale, do the cat tilt. So you're arched up like a scared cat. And then as you inhale, go the other way. And I'm not going to cue the breath, but I want you to keep going with your breathing. So you're going to exhale and arch up like a cat, and inhale and open the other way, heart forward, head high. And I love how you're going so slowly. It's perfect. And you can actually kind of get into the little vertebra, each of the individual ones, when you move like that. Now, do it kind of free form. So you can do serpentine movements, or you can stretch back to child's pose, or you can shift your hips from side to side. So whatever feels good, just to kind of wake up your spine. And this is all about your body and what feels good for it. Now keeping your hands where they are, walk your knees back a little bit. And then with your toes tucked under, stretch back up to downward facing dog. And then continue that exploration here. So bend your knees, you can pedal one foot and then the other, just kind of getting any kinks that you might have out. Good. And then come back to a place where you can be more steady in down dog. So pressing your hands forward into the mat, stretch your hips up and back. Good, little bend. Belle's got a little bend in her knees, and that's perfect for her body. Now step your feet up to your hands. So Uttanasana. This time I want you to do it with bent legs, both of you. Some of you, if your hamstrings are tight, I'll recommend that you do standing forward bend like Elle is with bent knees because it's much healthier for your back. If you have straight legs, you can do it like Sheila is right now with straight legs. But this time, I want everybody to bend their knees, whether you need to or not. And bend your knees enough so that your belly is coming in contact with your legs. And when you breathe in, just relax your neck. And when you breathe in, you feel your belly expand against your legs. And as you breathe out, just let your spine lengthen. So everything is soft and fluid, even though your legs are strong. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, and then bring your shoulder blades together on your back. Lift the back of your head and come up with your spine nice and long. Perfect. Good. Reach your arms all the way up. And then exhale, and just bring your hands back down in front of your heart. Folded in front of your heart. Yeah. Good. Take a big breath in, circle your arms up, stretch them up. And then exhale and bow forward as you come down. Touch the ground. Inhale here, halfway lift. Elle, bring your hands to your shins as you come up. And then stretch your heart forward and bump back. Perfect. Exhale and touch the ground. 2 more times exactly like that. Inhale, halfway lift. So Sheila's got her fingers down. Elle's got her hands on her shins. Exhale and touch the ground. And again, inhale, halfway lift. Good. Exhale and bow and step all the way back to down dog. Yeah. Good. Take a big breath in and exhale through your mouth. Good. Next inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Sink your left heel to the mat and come upright, stretching your arms out to the sides. So you're facing the left side of your mat. Come upright. Arms out to the sides. Good. Look over your right fingers. Warrior 2. So take a big breath in here, full and bright. And as you exhale, push through your feet and stretch through your spine. And as you inhale, remember your inner fullness, your capacity for forgiveness. And as you exhale from your hips, push through your feet and lengthen up. One more time. Big full breath in. That's it. Exhale, push down and stretch up. Nice. Touch the ground either side of your front foot. And then step back, downward facing dog. Big breath in through your nose. Big exhale. And I'm just going to give these girls a little love for their backs here. Is that okay? Yeah, feels good. Yummy. All right. Step your right foot up, or step your left foot up between your hands, second side. So step your left foot up, sink your right heel down. Same thing on the other side. Come upright, warrior 2. Stretch your arms out. Beautiful job, guys. Big breath in. So again, every time you breathe in, you're increasing or reconnecting with your fullness. As you exhale, push through your feet, extend roots down. That makes you strong so that you can be more spacious. Big breath in again. Exhale, push down and extend up. Well done. Touch the ground either side of your front foot. This time, step back to plank. So Elle's going to release her knees to the mat and do a half push-up. Walk your knees back, though, a little bit, Elle. And then take a breath here. Exhale and lower to the floor. So keep your belly strong, your shoulders back as you come down. That's it. Good. Clasp your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Draw your shoulder blades together. And then inhale, Shalabhasana. So you come upright. Well, not upright, but up. Take a breath in, get a little higher. And then exhale and stretch back through your arms and legs. Just make everything longer. Good. Release down. Take your hands right beside your chest. And with your next exhale, we'll go back to downward facing dog. Big breath in through your nose. Big exhale, yeah. Right foot forward between your hands and sink your left heel down. Bring your right elbow to your right leg and your left hand to your hip. And just pause and take a breath. No rush, no tension. Ardha Chandrasana is next. So step your back foot in halfway and reach your hand forward ahead of your right foot and touch the ground or the block. So Elle's using a block for her hamstrings. Lift your back leg up. So you can use, if you're at home, you can use a book, you can use anything that gives you a little height. And then straighten your standing leg, back leg up, top shoulder back, and stretch your top arm up. Good, take a big breath here. Yeah, and then as you exhale, extend through your standing leg and shine out. Good, now bend your right leg, touch the ground with both hands, and step back to down dog. Well done. Big full breath in. Big exhale. And balance is something that you have to work on. So if it's not something that you've been practicing, you can lose it a little bit, but you can get it back. Second side, so take your left foot up between your hands and sink your right heel down to the floor. Bring your left elbow to your left leg and your right hand to your hip. Yeah, and just pause here. So you take a big breath in, exhale, just let it all go. Step halfway in with your back foot, reach for the ground ahead of your left foot with your left hand, and lift your right leg up. Good. So you stay steady. Flex your foot in the sky, spread your toes so it's working really hard. Top shoulder back, and then stretch your top arm up. Well done. Palm faces the windows over here. Take a big breath in. Good. And then exhale and shine out like a star. Beautiful. Bend your standing leg, touch the ground with both hands, and then step back to down dog. Good job. On your next inhale, come forward to plank. Yes, you can scoot your feet back and then release your knees to the mat, L. Take a breath here and with a strong belly and shoulders, lower all the way to the ground. Good. Now put your forehead on the mat. This time take your hands by your sides with your palms facing your thighs, so turned in. That's it. And then draw your shoulder blades together and let your hands come up with them when you bring them together. So hands come up over your hips a little bit. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, just soften your skin. Good. Take a breath in again and lift your chest and let your feet float up and arms just extend back. So Elta, you can take your hands off your hips and just stretch them back behind you. There you go. Perfect. Big breath in. Exhale and extend back through your arms and legs. Good. Exhale and release. Just turn your head to one side and have a little rest here. Yeah. So as you lie on the floor, just let yourself feel completely supported by the floor. Beautiful. Take your hands right next to your chest and tuck your toes. With your exhale, stretch back to down dog. Good job. Now, balancing on your right hand and the outer edge of your right foot. Balance on your right hand and the outer edge of your right foot, facing the left side of your mat. Stack your left foot on top of your right foot and bring your left hand to your hip. Now, the alternative is what Sheila's going to do. Cross your right foot in front with your toes facing the left side of your mat. There you go. So either of these is fine. Squeeze your legs toward each other no matter which variation you're doing. Take your top shoulder back and then stretch your top arm up. Good. Take a big breath in. Now lift your bottom hip higher. Good. Exhale, touch the ground and go back to down dog. So Vashisthasana, side plank, is a challenging pose. Either variation works. All right. Balance on your left hand and the outer edge of your left foot, and turning to face the right side of your mat. Yeah. So if you're stacking like L is, stack your feet, pull all 10 toes toward your shins, and bring your right hand to your hip. Sheila's crossed her top leg over in front with her toes pointing toward L. Now top shoulder back, and then stretch your top arm up. And take a big full breath in, lift your bottom hip higher. Good. Exhale, touch the ground, and go back to down dog. And then reach your knees back, or knees to the floor. So big toes together, knees wide, and then bow forward, touch your feet with your hands. There's a beautiful contemplation by Mario Liani that says, I forgive, heal, and release everything that consciously or unconsciously could delay or block the complete evolution of my being. So is there a story that you're holding on to that's holding you back? Do you need to forgive yourself for something? And often that's harder than forgiving someone else. So in this more contemplative position, you're actually kind of physically looking inside. It's a sweet time to contemplate that. All right, come forward now. Bring your hands to the front of your mat and just lie on your belly, propped up on your elbows. So this is Sphinx pose. So have your elbows directly under your shoulders and your hands forward. Yeah, fingers spread out. That's it. Take the tops of your shoulders back a little bit so that you're opening through your chest. Stretch back through your legs. Good. Take a big breath in. That's it. And then again, as you exhale, extend your leg bones longer and extend up through the crown of your head. That's it. Now take your right hand back, shoulder height, palm facing in. That's it. So we're going to keep your legs straight this time. This key, yeah. So just let go of your leg, L, and then palm facing in. Yeah. Good. Now, hold yourself with your belly. Take your left arm up the same way. So you're going to take your left elbow out from underneath you. Yeah, lift up. Press your feet down. Take a big breath in. Exhale, stretch back through your arms and legs. Good. Release down. Yeah, take your hands to the floor. You can fold them on your mat. Turn your head to one side. Okay, push yourself up to a seated position. Bringing the soles of your feet together. Yeah, so Baddha Konasana. So soles of your feet come together. Instead of pulling on your feet, slide your hands underneath your heels. So I learned this from a friend of mine named Ross Rayburn. He's a really talented teacher. Press all the sides of your feet together and pull your toes back away from each other so that your legs muscles are really active. Good. Now holding on underneath your feet, take a breath in and lift your heart. And as you exhale, bow forward just a little bit, just a couple centimeters. Yeah, that's it. Take a breath in again here, lift up. And then as you exhale, bow forward a little bit. So when you start to round in your shoulders, then that's your indication that you've gone far enough. So take your shoulders back a little bit more. There you go, perfect. Now you've gone as far as you're going to go. Take a breath in again. That's it. And if you still have room to go without rounding, you can go a little further. That's it. So they've both gone as far as they're going to go now. Yeah. Good. Inhale and come up. And then exhale and release. Good job. Keep your left foot where it is and stretch your right leg out to the side. Pull your left foot in nice and tight. And even if you can get the top of your left foot on the mat, that's ideal. If you can't, it's okay. That's it. Now take your left hand behind you and your right hand to your left knee. That's it. Now some people might sit in this position and find that their low back is really rounded and it's uncomfortable. And if you have that problem, then you can just take a little blanket like this that you might have at home and just slide it under your bum. I'm going to slide it under Sheila's so you can see. And she just sits right on the edge of it, and that helps her low back to lengthen so that she feels more comfortable here. Take a breath in and lengthen up through your spine. And then keeping your legs strong, exhale and twist to your left. Yeah, and do it again. Big full breath in, rise up, and then exhale and twist to the left. Good. When you breathe in, think about breathing more into your right side to fill the whole right side of you. And then as you exhale, twist. Good. Inhale and come back to center. And then turn over your right leg. Flex your right foot. Make sure your toes are pointed up toward the ceiling. So I'm going to give Elle this strap here for her legs, for her hamstrings, and she's going to hold the strap. Sheila's going to use just her hands to reach for her foot. So you take a breath in here, lengthen up, and then as you exhale, start to bow forward over your legs. So Elle can walk her hands down the strap as she's doing that, so your arms stay straight, and Sheila will reach for her foot. You take a breath in again, and then exhale and bow forward a little bit more. So you keep using your breath to go as far as you can go, keeping your spine long and your upper back nice and open. Good, perfect, both of you. Inhale and come up. And then switch your legs. So fold your right leg in and stretch your left leg out to the side. Turn towards your right leg and take your left hand on your right knee and your right hand behind. Perfect. Take a big breath in now and lengthen up. And then as you exhale, twist. So you twist from your lower spine. Big breath in again. Exhale and twist. Good. Again, big full breath. Exhale and twist. Nice. Inhale and untwist and turn towards your straight leg. And I'll take the straps and wrap it around the ball of her foot. And both of them go super slowly as they go into the fold. So first a big breath, and then exhale and bow. And then again, lengthen up, and then exhale and fold. And Elle's using the strap, and she's walking her hands down, her arms stay straight. Sheila's using her hands to grab her foot, and both ways are perfect. Beautiful. Inhale and come back up. And then this time, stretch your legs forward. So bring your legs next to each other, right? And then stretch your legs out forward. So this time I'm going to give the blanket to Elle, because I actually think this is going to make you feel a lot better here. And then you slide right to the edge of it. So the idea is you want to have a curve in your lower back when you're bowing forward. So this is just going to help Elle get the curve. So she's going to slide a little bit more to the front of the blanket. That's it. It's almost so you feel like you're going to fall off. And then your pelvis will tip forward a little bit, and then you can lengthen up through your spine. You're going to use the strap again. All right, so take your hands back behind your hips, both of you, to start. Yeah. And then you can actually use your hands to push into the ground and get your spine longer. It feels good when you do that. And this fullness here, like if you take a big breath and really lift your heart, this is the feeling I want you to keep even as you're folding, because the tendency is going to be for you to close your chest when you go down. So you take a big breath in now, keeping your legs strong, exhale and bow forward a little bit. Yeah, and Elle, you don't have to use a strap yet. So take your hands here and breathe in. Perfect. And then exhale and just a little bow. There you go. And Elle's starting to bow, but are you feeling a stretch? Yeah, so she's feeling a stretch right there. Sheila's going to go with her breath, and when she gets closer, she'll reach for her feet. Elle's going to take the strap around the bottom of her feet, and that just essentially makes her arms longer. And both things are exactly the same. They have the same effect. And the important thing to remember is if you're feeling a stretch, you're stretching, like you're increasing your flexibility. You don't have to get your head down to make your hamstrings looser. But they're going to keep breathing. So every time you inhale, take a breath and lengthen through your spine. And then if you've got room to fold, fold. If you don't, just keep breathing here and holding it. Sheila's going to take her elbows up and out to the sides a little bit more. Take a breath and really get long through your spine. And then exhale and right here, soften and bow in. Yeah. Good. Inhale and come up. And release. So again, a lot of people think, in order to do this pose, I have to get my head like right down on my shins. Not true. You go as far as you can, keeping your heart open. And if you're feeling a stretch, you're stretching. All right, we're going to move the mats and things to the wall now to do a little pose called legs up the wall. And this is a really gentle restorative pose. That's just such a sweet way to end a practice. Okay, so you can take the mats and slide them back to the wall. So I'm going to show how to use yoga props here to do this. If you don't have yoga props, Sheila's going to show how to do it without props. If you have a yoga bolster handy, and I like these flat rectangular ones the best, put it about 3 or 4 centimeters away from the wall, so there's some space here. And then you're going to take a blanket and fold it up kind of in the shape of the bolster and put it right next to the bolster like that. So Elle's going to sit on the edge of the bolster with her hip right on the wall. So she's super close to the wall. And then she's going to swing her legs up the wall. And Sheila's doing it here without props. She'll swing her legs up the wall and snuggle her bum in toward the wall. Then her shoulders hit the blanket. And her head is, and her neck is supported that way. Arms can be out to the sides like Sheila's, palms up always when you're lying on your back in yoga. And then they're just going to rest here. Start to deepen and lengthen your breath. And then bend your knees in towards your chest. So slide your feet down the wall, bring your knees in towards your chest. And then roll to your right side. So Elle's going to roll off the bolster all the way onto the floor. Sheila will just roll onto her right side. Perfect. Stretch your right arm out so your head can rest on it. And it's important after you've done this one to take a couple of breaths lying in this position just to give your body a chance to reacclimate itself. This is a gentle inversion, having your legs up the wall like this. And it's really good for calming you down. If you have trouble sleeping, it's a great thing to do before you go to sleep. I've had a student tell me that it stops her panic attacks, like she physically can't have a panic attack when she's in this position. So it's a beautiful, nurturing, calming pose. And then they're going to keep their legs really relaxed. Just, guys, use your hands to help yourselves up. So you're going to come back to sitting and then come on back to your mat. Fold your hands in front and close down your eyes. May we use this practice as a method of self-nurture, a form of healing, and a way to move ourselves from separation to unity, revealing at our core, the core of who we are, a place of purity and light. Namaste.